Welcome back to the deep dive. We gather up different sources, look closely, and pull out those key bits of insight so you can be really well informed. Today, we're diving into something, well, really profound. It's this often unseen power, a silent, invisible force that apparently each of us carries right in our heart and soul.
Yeah, and for this exploration, we're mainly drawing from a YouTube transcript. It's from Porto Smyrta, featuring Mayse Braga, and also some personal notes that you shared with us, which was great.
Right, and our goal today, our mission, is really to unpack how this power works. It's the power of our words, thoughts, choices, and, crucially, the consequences. How it can be used to create or, well, to destroy, how it shapes our lives, maybe even echoing from what the sources call past existences. And this isn't about, political power or corporate power, not the usual stuff. It's this deep internal energy we all have. And digging into this, we found some really surprising things, facts and stories that might just change how you see your own influence. We'll get into how misusing this internal power can lead to, really tangible problems. Loneliness, trauma, even physical issues.
Yeah, like that point about losing speech.
Exactly. Can you believe it? The sources suggest some people, because they misused words so badly in the past, actually lose the ability to speak for maybe 2 whole incarnations.
2 lifetimes.
It really makes you think twice about every word, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
So we touched on the weight of words, but let's zoom out a bit. Usually when we think power, we think big, right? Politicians, kings.
The external stuff.
But these sources challenge that. They ask you to consider the power you hold right now, the power to love, or to destroy someone with just a word, to set someone free with truth, or maybe to manipulate someone who trusts you.
And that power of the word, it's described as just extraordinary and very karma-laden. It might be the most potent ability we possess.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's misused, it can be twisted into calumny, false damaging accusations or defamation, spreading distrust.
Breaking people apart.
Exactly, separating people who truly love each other. And it's considered so serious, the sources say, that many who use words perversely, really negatively influencing others, they might actually lose their ability to articulate sound for at least 2 incarnations.
Wow. 2 lifetimes of silence, just to learn the value of a word.
Seems that way. A profound lesson in responsibility.
And it's not always about outright malice, is it? The sources talk about this power of disaffection, manipulation in our closest relationships.
Using your energy to control someone just because they care about you. Or maybe hiding truths that could actually liberate them emotionally.
It's subtle, but sounds incredibly damaging.
It can be. The sources give some really painful, specific examples, like a man using his influence over a woman, constantly discrediting her.
Telling her she'll never succeed.
Yes, or that she should just accept things as they are. Or think about a parent who just crushes a child's dreams, telling them they're impossible.
That's heartbreaking. The family should be the safe place.
It should be the first place of welcome, of loving energy. But those negative words, especially from parents, can, as the source puts it, stupefy someone for years.
Stupefy.
Leaving them needing therapy just to believe in themselves.
And then there's this other chilling idea, the power to contaminate others with negativity.
Ah, yes. The doctor anecdote.
Right. It's so powerful. This doctor, deeply skeptical, his words alone could apparently undo a patient's spiritual healing.
The patient gets better, then sees the doctor.
And the doctor mocks them, right? You believe this stuff. Your disease is incurable. There's no miracle. And just like that,
the illness returns. His words, his negativity had that much power over the patient, physically manifesting the illness again.
It's such a contrast to someone like Chico Xavier, the media mentioned, when he waited for his doctor.
He just prayed for the doctor to be accurate, to get the diagnosis right. A completely different energy.
Wow.
That story really drives it home, doesn't it? How potent words are, especially negative ones.
Definitely.
It's like the sources say, whatever energy you put out, positive or negative, it tends to boomerang. It comes back to you.
A direct consequence.
Yeah. And it's fascinating how they link this to a kind of spiritual energy being used for, well, everything, even material things. It's all interconnected.
So if our internal state, our words, our energy have this much impact, what about when we scale it up to society?
Right, a societal power.
The sources take us there too. Think Louis XIV, the Sun King, his famous line,
L'état, c'est moi.
The state, it is I, pure ego. And his excessive rule, all that opulence, it led to terrible misery in France. People literally had no bread.
And he knew it, didn't he? That prophecy.
After me, the deluge, he saw it coming. And it did come. The French Revolution, a direct result of his power misuse.
And that revolution, it started with noble ideas, didn't it?
Equality, liberty, fraternity. Absolutely.
But it devolves so quickly. The sources call it a bloodbath. Tragically, even the revolutionaries ended up victims of it.
A stark lesson in how power corrupts, even when ideals are high.
Yeah, how quickly things can go wrong without wisdom and balance.
And from corrupted ideals, the sources move to something maybe even more insidious. The power of inciting hatred.
Ah, the example of the Nazis in the 1930s.
It's chilling how they systematically convince people that Jewish citizens were the source of all problems.
That tactic of throwing valuables onto the street.
Right. During arrests, throwing money, gold out the window, calling neighbors to witness.
Implying theft?
To make people think, see, they were stealing from us.
Horrifying. It normalized the idea that eliminating these people was somehow justified. And of course, burning books.
Suppressing thought. Destroying knowledge that could counter the narrative.
Exactly. Prevent people from discerning the truth. And the scary thing is that mentality, it hasn't vanished. The sources point out this feeling that whoever thinks differently from me seems to be a threat to me.
Prejudice, intolerance.
Discrimination. It's still fueling conflict all over the world. Echoes of those dark times.
Which naturally leads to the counterforce. The power of knowledge and education.
The very thing tyrants try to suppress.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If people are educated, if they study,
they can discern more. They can see through manipulation.
Make mature choices for themselves, which is often the last thing someone clinging to absolute power wants. Knowledge empowers independence.
And that empowerment, that whole system, it relies on respect. Respect for the process, respect for teachers.
The sources mention that theory about when students stopped saying sir or ma'am to teachers.
Yeah, that things started to go downhill from there. It reflects a broader shift, maybe.
And we see the fallout. That statistic from Brasilia, nearly 30% of teachers on medical leave.
Due to student abuse. Even in private schools, it's shocking.
It really makes you think about those foundational principles, like the saying the sources quote.
He who does not obey will never learn to command. There's a discipline, a respect needed for learning and eventually leading.
Okay, so we've talked words, negativity, societal power, knowledge. What about material power? Money.
The power of possessions and its limits.
The story of Aristotle and Assus is just stark. Wealthiest man in the world in 73.
Unimaginable wealth.
But when his son, just 23, had that helicopter accident, all his money couldn't save him.
After 24 hours, the doctor said his brain was gone.
And Assus, standing outside the hospital, told reporters,
"Today I discovered that everything money can buy is cheap."
What a realization. He died just 2 years later, apparently a broken, embittered man.
That story really sums it up, doesn't it? Money can help, yes. Sometimes.
But sometimes it puts you in even tougher spots. Or just reveals its own powerlessness against some of life's biggest challenges.
Exactly. It can't buy true well-being, can't prevent loss.
So if not money, not societal control, where does the real power lie, according to these sources?
It seems to point towards transformation, choosing your own destiny.
They use this great allegory, the river of life.
Right, you can just float along, let the current take you wherever, not really choosing.
Or you can turn face down, put in some effort, swim against the current.
And by doing that, you choose your destination. You decide when and where you get out.
It's about self-determination, taking control.
And this ties right into personal evolution. Now, some traditions might say certain paths are sort of laid out because of past stuff, past imbalances.
Okay.
But the moment you seek spiritual growth, whether here or, on the other side,
Yeah.
you elevate your choices.
You get more agency.
Exactly. The sources strongly suggest that at our current stage of evolution, we practically choose our entire trajectory. We're the authors.
We write our own story.
In essence, yes.
And sometimes, in those big moments of choice, there might be unseen help, like the Princess Isabel story.
Signing the Golden Law, abolishing slavery in Brazil, a huge moment.
She hesitated, right? Hand trembling, doubting the consequences.
Understandably. And then Ismail, this protective spirit figure in these teachings,
Invisibly takes her hand.
and whispers, "Sign now," guiding her in that pivotal moment.
Wow. A guiding hand when the choice is that significant.
And it wasn't just her. Think of her grandfather, Pedro I, his famous cry.
Independence or death.
That powerful indignation that gave him the strength, the power to change the nation's path. And apparently, Ismail guided him too.
So the idea is we're not alone in these big moments.
That's what the sources suggest. Nobody in the theater of life, although they think so, acts alone. There are forces helping, especially when we align with a higher purpose.
Bringing it back to us personally,
Yeah.
that spiritual teaching, it's a bit of a jolt. Millions of souls arrive on the other side, bitterly regretting not having been more disciplined.
Yeah, a real wake-up call. Not understanding the responsibility of being here on Earth, not learning early enough that what you give out
Comes back.
comes back. And today, things are so interconnected, it often comes back in this life.
So how do we change that cycle? How do we use the power well?
The emphasis is hugely on positive deeds, noble deeds. Their power is described as extraordinary.
And that metaphor, shadow fears only light.
Exactly. And that light isn't just some vague goodness. It's real internal change, overcoming your own stuff, your inner obstacles, making a genuine effort to be better.
That's what gets respect, spiritually speaking.
That's the idea. Sincere inner work.
Okay. And on the flip side, the sources mention envy briefly. Chico Xavier apparently feared it, called it a terrible energy.
Which is ironic, isn't it? You look at social media.
All these perfect lives.
Perfect facades, often hiding deep unhappiness, even depression. We project this image for others to potentially envy, but the energy itself is destructive, and the reality behind the image might be painful.
Strange loop.
And it connects back to self-respect, too. The sources note sometimes people almost prefer being mistreated.
Rather than make the choice to change course.
Yeah, rather than choosing a different path for themselves. Breaking free requires that internal decision, that strength.
It's a tough choice sometimes. Which brings us right to that core message.
Yeah.
From Jesus, via Emmanuel in the sources, Mark 8.36.
What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul?
What does that really mean in this context?
Well, think about it. Spending your life piling up gold just for a fancy tomb, chasing fame that ends in regret,
Egoism, pride.
intemperance, vanity, all those things. If that's the focus without genuine service to others,
Then what?
then you wake up beyond death without gathering its renewing light. The real power, the real game, isn't in accumulation. It's in transformation and service.
What a journey through these ideas today. It feels like the absolute core insight, the thing that really lands, is this. The greatest power isn't money. It's not controlling others. It's the power to transform yourself.
That's it.
The ability to step out of feeling like a victim, to get back up even when things look bleak, to look inside and just say, enough. I'm choosing differently now. I choose change.
And that internal transformation, that quiet, invisible force of saying no to old patterns, of choosing faith, of rebuilding from within.
That's what the sources say spirits respect.
Exactly. It's that silent energy of one who loves, even amidst pain. That's the real power. It echoes that invisible force we started with.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to chew on. Jesus, as the sources remind us, never promised an easy ride. No guarantees of comfort.
No, he didn't.
But he did talk about many mansions, and he revealed the profound truth that our spirit is eternal.
Forever.
Which means everything we build inside ourselves, every bit of genuine transformation we achieve through conscious choice, that goes with us forever.
So the encouragement is really to reflect on that, to make the choice day by day, to live with light, with courage, to use that inner power to transform your own destiny, and maybe, just maybe, the lives around you too, through love, through service.